Hello everyone and welcome, this is Dragothic. We are doing a quick little build video for a beginner driller, drilling ship. I've already built an advanced one over there, but I realized I sort of skipped over doing a beginner's one while I was getting all this ready by hand. So we'll do that now, and then we'll probably it's probably be its own video, and the next video will probably be showcasing the new advanced driller that I just built, which I'm quite happy with. So this will be your beginner's one. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by having a couple things on our list here. We need to put a landing gear on, a cockpit, some conveyor tubes, the atmospheric thrusters, because we're on Earth at the moment. Obviously, if you're in space, you're going to use ion thrusters. Use whatever environment you're on. Earth's easy to start on, as well as you're going to need a connector, and I've also got on here a cargo container as well. I've got some rotors and stuff, but you won't need that for this build. That's just for that advanced one that I did before, as well as you're going to need batteries, a drill, and the gyroscope on your keypad. So first off, we're going to start by building a landing gear. Now the way you're going to put that out there is, because it'd be a bit funky, you're just going to hold it to where you want it to go, and then say I've got landing gear there on 1. I'm just going to push the 1 again, and it's going to change it to a small grid, and then that can just go place down and auto lock on the ground there. Next off, we're just going to go up a few runs, and then come across, have like a little bit of a spine there, just to start sitting things on. Then we will grab our cockpit, whack it on evenly there like that. Now don't worry about it, because we're gonna get rid of this thing once we've got it all sorted. But this will get us started. So, that's the scary thing about going in creative. You stop. Oh no, probably because I've turned off GPSs. Don't worry. I'm getting scared. I'm going to get blown up by the NPCs that are flying around in my game. I am in the middle of a pathing lane, and I haven't built defenses yet. So now we've got that there. The next thing you're going to want to do is we are going to get our small conveyor tubes. Where'd they go? Small conveyor tube like this. And we're just going to whack them across like that, and that's just so that the next thing can line up nice and easy. Then we'll get our medium storage container, which is a small grid only, or not really a small grid only, is it? I think it has a big grid, doesn't it? Oh well, doesn't want me to do it. Have a look at it. So it's got two big ports and 2 little ports on either side. No, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that so that it is just behind here. Alright, so that's your storage now. You can get away without having that as a storage, as the cockpit itself has... I'm at like high end, so 4 times stuff, so like 2,500 liters of space, I think, on a standard cockpit. But the medium container has a much larger storage space. So as well as, you got to remember, the drill is going to have a bit of a storage space as well. So you can get away without this part. It just makes it simpler. Plus, you don't need it for the connector for conveyor, because you can just use this big one down the bottom here. He's a big guy over there. So now we've got that there. what we want to do is we want to pick to our battery. Put that there. Get 2 of those, right? So it's starting to look kind of long, but it's fine. It's not really going to worry it all that much. Then after we do that, we just want to go over to our drill, and we'll just put 1 on there, right? Because you only need one drill for the beginning. Just something that's got to work a little faster than your standard set. I mean, if you're really worried about space and time, you could just as simply connect it a little bit lower, but it's not really going to make much of a difference once you get into it. As well as we're going to need a gyroscope. I reckon you only really need 1, so we'll just whack, if you'll please, thank you, just whack 1 in there, right? It's not an overly major requirement, just sort of it's just helpful to have. You can put it anywhere inside of this conveyor area. You might upgrade this later to something else, so you might you'll end up drilling it, grinding it 3 or 4 times. So that's the basic lineup for how we want to have our ship. Now the next thing what we want is how to have our thrusters. So now you're gonna look at mine. The ones I've got are the upgradables. I got the mod on for upgradable thrusters. Not necessary. It's just helpful. I've found it's also interesting, but they chew through a lot more power when you upgrade them. You can do the same build without the upgradable thrusters, so it's not really a worry. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go a big one on the up, alright, and then we will have up on the top here that's right, I'm not doing the vector thing. So you got those cross there like that. Then you're going to grab your small atmospherics, right? And you're going to have these ones here at the front facing forwards, right? So they're going to be going 1, 2, 3. Now, you don't have to go forward, this one here. You can go back to line up. I'm just moving it forward to save myself a bit of space because I'm not building anything inside this space here at the moment. Obviously, it's up to you if you're going to build extra stuff there. So now we've got those 3 forward facing on both sides. Now we'll get an additional up thrust sitting in the center there, and that's not where you got placed, but okay. Put 3 forward thrusters here like that. I mean, you can make this neater and be like back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, but we're not worried about that right now. 1, 2, 3, like that there. Cool. And you can even fit an additional set of side thrusters down here if you've got the spare resources. All right, so you see you're just adding enough to keep it stable. Right, this is probably overkill at this stage, but it won't go anywhere. You can probably get away with half as many of these. I would just suggest removing one of the batteries for weight. Now, this should be self-sufficient now for floating. We can get rid of all of that. So this thing here is exceptionally stable. It's just like a long tube. It'll do its job. So what you're gonna do is once you've done that one, have I got? Yeah, I got plenty in reverse. There. So that is a fairly basic driller just for a single drill ship. It will hold its own weight, floating that direction. Upside down though, I wouldn't trust it. All right, because you've only got the like we haven't got any down thrusters built on this. I just realized we're missing one thruster. Very professional. That's the professionalism we expect out of Dragothic gaming. So you don't need to have down when you're building this. It's a waste really. You only really need down for drones because pressing C to go down will just lower the power and it'll go down anyway. So I'm quite happy with how this works. So what we'll do is we'll just quickly I'm sure I've been recording for more than 3 minutes to get to this stage. So what we'll do now is we'll go into our block groups, right? So that's just pushing G while we're inside the cockpit. And we are going to, go to K. And you're going to go to upgradable, or whatever your atmospheric thrusters are. And you're just going to tap the top one, scroll all the way down, hold down shift, tap the bottom one, and that'll put them all together. Then go to block groups. All thrusters, like that, right? So now you've made a group. And then drill, because you've only got one, it's not going to matter, but you would do the same thing, all drills, if you had more than one drill on there. Which is, now we're going to go to G, right, to bring up our menu, which we'd normally put our tools on. We're going to drag the drill down here, toggle on and off, and then we go to groups down here, and then this is where our made one is. So we got all thrusters, which we can put over here for toggle on and off. And then the only other thing that we need to have is a connector, which is nice and easy to do. We just get our 9 across here like that. And then we just put a connector there like that. And now we can connect it nice and easy to any upward facing connector that you've maybe just got coming out of the top of your base somewhere. You can just park it on top of your base. It's not gonna worry it. So we got that connector on. Make sure you also set the connector. Don't ever use P to park your vehicle. Drag the connector down to here, and then you're going to select this one here, switch lock. Alright, so that way when you fly over towards a connector, I'll try and not show my advanced ship yet until we worry about it too much. So you would fly over to a connector. Cool. And then you would just get it up and close to it, and then the little symbol there would start to change face and tell you that it was ready to connect. If I can get this to work. Come on. It's very difficult to do this one upside down. Especially seeing as I don't have a down button. not advisable if you're going to be trying to go on the sideways. So you'd get up onto here, and then you can see down there number 9 has turned ready too. And then you can just press your 9 button, and it is now locked onto your connector. Connector on a has for materials to flow through it has to go onto a advanced rotor and advanced rotor head. Just keep that in mind if you're hoping to set up a rotor onto a connector. So yeah, there you go. Ninder, let it go. All right, so if you have, oh, we should probably play with that first, really, shouldn't we? Go and dig some stuff. So we'll go down here. Right, let's just dig this space. Right. So what we'll do is, say we want to dig a hole here. Just hit number 1. Right. And you're just going to drive up close. Just remember to take your time with it, because the way the voxels work in this game is it'll do damage to the voxels and then the voxel will disappear. If you try and go ham before it's ready, it won't do it. It won't let you do it. It'll just sort of like move across them. I still got power to lift up and hide. I do. So turn that off. Let's just quickly check our inventory. Alright, so we're currently flying with 20,000 stone on us and 187 ice. We've also got another 27k of stone inside the cockpit there, and we're still floating, so we'll just move that to the mass storage container. We'll keep digging and then see what the upper limit of this one here is, so that you can have an idea. But I'd much rather test the numbers on this on my game than have you go and do it after watching this and go and crash your nice new ship. By the way, I'll also put this one here on the workshop, so if you would just like to download it in, so you've got it there, nice and easy, then you can do that as well. We still seem to be digging quite well. Actually, remember these those thrusters are unupgraded, so they're just running on the basic thruster power. Right, so I am still flying. It says I have about 52 mins worth of energy though. Having lots of thrusters will chew through it quickly, but because we're not super heavy with extra stuff, so look, we've got 80k of stone and 2.5k ice, and we are still floating, still nice and powerful, still got movement. Right, so there you go. That is my nice and basic build. This one here will cost you a little bit more than you really need to spend in thrusters. I mean, you could go even more basic than this, which I will do in the next video if you want to see an even more basic version. Which, granted, will literally just be a seat and a drill. Alrighty then, we're going to leave that one there. Remember to like and subscribe this video, and also say hi in the comments down below. There's also in the description some links there for my Twitter, my Twitch, and Facebook as well. Go follow me on Twitter on the most part, and then also maybe think about joining in with my Roll Initiative stuff. We've currently got a competition running at the moment, hashtagging myself and Shuckins. You'll find him on my Twitter feed with the hashtag Roll Initiative about our podcast that we're currently doing that's being produced on his channel. So check that out as well. You'll be able to find links for that on my Twitter. All right, I'll see you next time.